Yo, what up? What up? What up? What up? We back. It's been a little minute since I actually dropped, a video just for y'all. But I've been busy. If y'all seen the shorts that I've been putting up, that's from the podcast that I do on Tuesdays nights. Um, if y'all haven't tuned in, tune into it. I'll leave a link again. I left the link a couple of different times. Um, but you can you can go on YouTube, live the Don Miller Show, Tuesdays 7 to about 8. You could do the same thing on Facebook if you're on Facebook. Um, but yeah, I've been staying busy a little bit. Like I said, I know it's been a minute since I dropped the video just for y'all, and I apologize for that. I know y'all don't know, but this could be draining. There's a lot of energy that come out you when you're doing this. It's a lot of thought. Um, and I always talk about real stuff, man. So that drains you as well. But I ain't got no excuses. I'm just letting y'all know that I have, been doing stuff for y'all a little bit. I have been doing stuff for y'all a little bit. Just I'll catch up. So y'all see the title. Y'all see what's going on. Um, you know, I've been wanting to touch on this. Like I said, I know I've been a little busy, but they doing to the boy is crazy. I think it's crazy. I commend him for standing up. I commend him for staying on his principles. Um, not being bullied. If you watch his press conference that he gave, after the tweets or whatever went viral and the controversy started with him reposting from Hebrews to Negroes or whatever. If you watch that press conference, you see how he articulated. You see how they was trying to push his buttons and asking him if he subscribed to being anti-Semitic, and he pretty much was saying like, "Yo, I talk to everybody. I love everybody. I'm not against anybody." You know what I'm saying? Even go to far as say is, I randomly was looking for stuff on Amazon, and I came across this, and I just thought it was interesting, and I wanted people to, potentially see it, read it, whatever the case may be. Whatever the case may be. Um, so, it doesn't make a lot of sense to me. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me how, he articulated, he was clear, he was concise, and what his intentions was, which was no malice intent. I'm sorry, I got distracted a little while. I was, hands unnecessarily, but, yeah, he clearly articulated how he felt, what he was thinking. Like, there was no malice in my heart. I had no ill intentions. I just thought it was interesting. I came across it randomly, and I just shot it out. You know what I mean? And that's really what I've been talking about the past 3 weeks on the podcast, probably like a month now, because it started with the Kanye. Um, Started with the Kanye conversation quite naturally with Adidas and et cetera, right? But when it comes to Kyrie, I think the problem that we have, right, is that when you let them do that to Kanye, right, and we got too many of us that was pushing the narrative that they wanted to push, right, not understanding we're being tricked. Like, you gotta understand this, right? That's why I compared it to the Kaepernick situation, where I said more black athletes would have stood up, more black NFL players would have stood up with Kaepernick, he would have never got blackballed, right? If more black prominent people would have stood with Kanye instead of going along with that narrative, he's crazy, he's spiraling. See, like I said in my last video, I think I said in my last video, the video before that the problem is when people realize you have a handicap, right? Everything you do is going to be associated with that handicap, right, wrong, or indifferent, right? Because you don't have to address what he's actually saying. right? Only thing you talking about, oh, he's bipolar. He's bipolar. Now you can totally disregard what he's saying, and you can focus on whatever mental handicap he may or may not have, right? And you even got to understand when he was diagnosed with that. He was really diagnosed with that when he was suffering from the pain of losing his mother. I don't know how many of y'all out there lost your mother, but that's something you can't even fathom if it never happened to you, right? So you gotta remember what point he was mentally in his life when he was diagnosed with being bipolar, right? Y'all gotta pay attention, man. Y'all really gotta pay attention. Like I told y'all, Kanye ain't said nothing different than what Dame Dash don't say, than what Prodigy don't say, that Tupac don't say. There's plenty of people in the hip hop community that don't came out and spoke against that, right? Go back and listen to Dick Gregory. Go back and listen to what he had to say, right? Michael Jackson even have a song, They Don't Care About Us. Who you think he talking about? You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all just not paying attention. Y'all sleeping with your eyes open, right? So y'all allowed that to happen to Kanye because y'all didn't stand up for Kanye, right? We're quick to push somebody else's narrative because that's easier to do than to think for ourselves. You know what I'm saying? So that happened to Kanye. So then Kyrie does nothing but retweet something that he found on Amazon, and he gets suspended from the NBA for that, right? Because he go to a press conference, like I said, he's being berated. You gotta salute the way he handled it. To me, anyway, the way that man handled it was flawless, right? He kept his composure, even though dude was trying to get a reaction out of him. It's just a fact. He was trying to rally him up, and to the best of his ability, he maintained his composure, and which he did, right? But they turn around, they suspend him, right? And then they institute all these stipulations. It's like 6 stipulations that he has to complete to even be considered to be reinstated. You know what that's called? This century's version of buck breaking. Whether y'all want to identify, the problem is y'all can't identify stuff because y'all don't know the origin and know the history of these were games and tricks that was played upon of us centuries ago. It's just playing out on real life TV in front of your face, and y'all can't even associate and do the correlation with this is the same thing that they was doing to us previously. And I keep asking this question. I'm gonna keep asking this question. How is Kyrie Irving being held more accountable than Jeff Bezos? Because if the problem is to that degree, if it's to that magnitude, wouldn't you have a problem with the person making it available on their platform? You know, Amazon is the world's largest retailer, right? So the problem isn't with Amazon, because you gotta think about it. This wasn't something that was mass produced. This was like somebody that went in their pocket, budgeted this video themselves, put this video out themselves, however many copies they made of it. You know what I'm saying? This wasn't something that was put out there by some major studio. So meaning, he had to push this to Amazon. Amazon had to agree to sell it. You know what I'm saying? So they holding Kyrie Irving, who's the consumer at this point, more accountable. Now, if you want to try to get into the Jedi mind trick and say, oh, with Kyrie's platform, people going to pay attention to what he's posting, and then when you actually watch the video and stop listening to what they're saying, when you watch the documentary and you're not listening to what they're saying, I'll wait for y'all to find something in there that was racially charged, something that was heinous in words, or what have you. Right? I'm still looking for the anti-Semitic portion of it, or piece, or word, or whatever. Now, if I wanted to force it to say, oh, that's anti-Semitic, because he said that the Persians would people later become to understand as being Jews, but they didn't precede the Africans, the Hebrews that were already Jews. They came down and got the game. And they traced it all the way back to Abraham with the color and with the skin complexion and with the lineage of the names, right? More important, the lineage of the names and where that origin was from, right? So it's really a history lesson. So like I said, if there's going to be a fault, if there's going to be a shot or being upset, it's because there was a real life history lesson given and it wasn't in their favor. Because they want the world to think and not really use their head, but they want the world to be on some kind of time like our history doesn't start till slavery. Oh yeah, y'all history don't start till the 1800s. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's the real issue. That's where you look at the average text or history when it comes to this race. They don't start talking about it really to slavery. Sorry, we have a real history that goes back to the origin. We the only people that can say that. And if that's being anti-Semitic, then I'll take the charge. I'm guilty as charged. If that's what it's gonna be, I'm gonna take that charge. I can't be racist because I'm telling the truth. I didn't say they're irrelevant. I didn't say they don't matter. They just broke down where the origin of the Israelites starts. For some reason that's anti-Semitic. Okay, I guess. If it makes sense to you, it don't make sense to me, so I can't say it makes sense to you, it makes sense to me, but that's never going to make sense to me. But if that makes sense to you, have at it. But yeah, they instituted six, or they gave them 6 guidelines. Donate X amount of dollars. Go sit down with some elders in that community, in the Jewish community. What else? Some kind of training. like I said, it's like 6 different stipulations, like 6 different things that they want this man to do. And it, like I said, it don't really make sense to me, but it's whatever, right? It's really sad because we're watching this and salute to Kyrie, because Kyrie said he's not doing any of that. He'll retire before he does any of those things. I salute him. I commend him. People always say that, them athletes, they have, it's not as simple for them because they have money to lose and yada yada. And I always say, when it comes to this conversation, when it comes to us just fighting for parity, just being equal, like not even, we don't want to be steps ahead of y'all. We just want an even playing field. Like, even with trying to get that in 2022, we clearly don't have that. And that's the most sickening part that people need to pay attention to. But people have lost more than money when it comes to this particular conversation. So I don't care about an athlete who already has over $100 million in liquid cash to lose any. I don't really care about that. And salute him for not caring about that as well. You know what I'm saying? I'm not the biggest Kyrie fan. I think some stuff he say is wow. Just like some stuff Kanye say is wow. Right? But don't use that as an opportunity to assist with buck breaking to one of our own. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't use that. We got enough that we're fighting externally. We have to find a way to limit that fight internally. You know what I mean? And we definitely can't jump on somebody else's agenda, somebody else's train, and push a narrative against one of us. And it's a false narrative at that. Because, like I said, it's easier to have that conversation of, oh, is that anti-Semitism? Is it not anti-Semitism? Versus what is actually being said, which is why y'all keep falsifying history. Why can any other race on this planet or any other community, any other culture be berated, disrespected, humiliated, what have you, but that particular community? And what y'all can understand is the elite at the top of that community is responsible for distribution of whether it's movie theaters, whether it's music, what have you. That's what they're responsible. That's what they have control over. That's what they're not letting us in the game on. You understand? Back when Murder Inc., Death Row, and Rap A Lot tried to get together and they tried to form a distribution company, right? People want to say, oh, yeah, Supreme McGriff was a part of Murder Inc. Like they got tied up in that. But why was Death Row rated? Why was Rap A Lot rated? They ain't got no attachments to Supreme McGriff, right? So what some of y'all may not realize, some may realize, some may not realize, is that these three brothers were getting together, putting their money together, right, to form a distribution company, right? If you know anything about money, you know anything about real generational wealth, you know anything about real legacy when it comes to the entertainment industry, you know the lifetime real generation family changing money is in distribution. Like anything else, no matter whatever game you want to talk about, you know the biggest money is always in distribution. Who controls the distribution? So they took so they was trying to start a distribution company, as well as they was trying to form a union for all music artists, not just hip hop artists, music artists period. They was trying to form a union so they can get benefits and retirement plans and stuff like that. And you ain't heard nobody trying to do that since then. And that happened, what, early 2000s, I want to say? Think about it. Connect the dots here. Who owns music? Who owns the distribution companies? Like, come on, man. This ain't no shot. This ain't nobody going out of their way trying to pay people in any type of light. But what's true? It's the truth. You understand what I'm saying? So, when you have somebody like, oh, the Brooklyn Nets suspends him indefinitely. Okay, then Nike, because now Nike got to jump on board because what Adidas did to Kanye, which y'all being tricked out of that, because that was for a whole nother they just used this as an excuse, but it was already in the works of them parting ways anyway. Because they was doing shady business tactics, which they typically do anyway, especially when it comes to business with us. So let's go through, tell them to go through and really open up them contracts they got with these young kids out here, that these young kids commit risk of their life to create this music. Because if they don't create anything other than things that maybe pushing the envelope, for a while it's controversy, for a while it's violence, using narcotics, whatever the case may be, they know that they're not going to get that deal. They're not going to get, you know what I'm saying? They're just going to be an underground mixtape rapper, which to an extent may not be that bad. But you're not going to get that push from a major. All this stuff goes together. That's why I keep reverting back and forth, because these things are not isolated. All these things go together. You still got to subscribe to Master. Master just look different. That's it. Look at the top 1% of the world and look at who dominates that. It's going to be a common theme. I'm just saying, bro. Like, don't get mad at me for telling the truth, man. I'm not trying to put nobody in my crosshairs or disrespect nobody or nothing, but I'm not going to be afraid to tell the truth. Only way that's going to change, if no matter what culture you subscribe to, religion you subscribe to, what was your background, only way that's going to change if we band together and make a change together. That's the only way to fix that. Because you got white artists that's dying from overdoses and all that too. Like I'm saying, you just had one. They may be like white artists maybe don't get gunned down in the street like a black artist does. You know what I'm saying? But they dying as well. But they dying from drug overdoses. They dying from suicide. Because they all playing in the same devilish game with the same devilish people that's controlling it. So this is a humanity fight. This ain't a particular sect fight. It's a fight. All humanity should be on the same train, fighting the same fight together. That's how you rectify that. And without that, they're going to keep the division. They're going to keep putting out little stuff for us to be divided and us to be arguing back and forth. Well, we really, you know what I'm saying? We exert energy we don't have. We should be saving that energy to fight a more powerful being, a more powerful collective. You know what I'm saying? They should be banding them finances together to fight that, to change that system. Instead of buying it on chains and cars and all this other, throwing $100,000 at the strip club and all that goofy stuff. Like, no, y'all should be saving that bread and putting that bread together to help change the conversation. Because it's enough collective wealth out there to do it. But they know that money gonna get squandered on designer. That money gonna get squandered on whatever new Bentley, Rolls Royce, Bugatti, or whatever else gonna come out that you gonna drive 5 times. They already know the play. But we we're definitely in a position to do something different, but we just gotta see it. We just gotta want it. We just gotta do it. But we definitely in a position to make that happen. We gotta realize that. We gotta wake up. You understand what I'm saying? And until that happens, we're gonna be in purgatory. The status quo gonna stay the same. I appreciate y'all as always, man. I'm gonna wrap this up. I appreciate y'all as always for stopping through, man. I always appreciate y'all hanging out on the corner with me. I'm gonna try to be more mindful. I know I keep saying that, but I try to be more mindful, man. But like I said, I've uploaded shorts to give y'all a feel of what's going on out here, or what I'm up to. I'm not stagnant. I'm actually moving. But this your first time here. I hope you enjoyed the conversation, man. I hope that if you don't be afraid to comment. Don't be afraid to give your input. Even if you disagree, right? That's how we come together as one. Hopefully a disagreement could turn into an agreement. Ain't it gotta be agreement about this. Just be agreement as being human beings. You know what I'm saying? But like, share, subscribe. Like I said, comment. As always, I appreciate y'all coming through. My next video, I know I haven't touched on it. I've been asked to touch on it by people. I'm gonna touch on the takeoff situation and what my thoughts is about it. Y'all know I'm gonna go somewhere else with it already. That's to be expected. I hope y'all expecting that. I'm definitely gonna go from an angle that is not typical, right? But as always, man, I appreciate y'all. I appreciate the new subscribers. Let's continue to grow, continue to get better, and stay one.